Yeah, actually, I think I did. Where is it? It's gone. It's entered the void. There's so many windows, I can only see half of them. It's gonna take a bit. How do you even tweet here? Where's the... Just copy and paste that one. And we're good. Some of your media failed to upload. It's the Twitch thing. Whatever. All right, finally. Have to handle cats at some point. So hopefully we have enough time.
Well, at some point.
I mean, it could be 4 to 6, which is in 2 hours to 4 hours.
Okay.
But I have no idea when the owner is coming back. So, just like, I kind of wish that, like, well, optimally I would do like 4, so that's not even a possibility. But then, you know, we could talk for a while, and then it'd be fine. Like, you know, if she was coming home to feed her cats in a reasonable time, she probably wouldn't ask me to do it. So, I'm just worrying for nothing.
People can be fucking weird, though. I feel fat and beached. So I have the Hydra. I'm fucking... I cannot move at speed.
Well, I don't feel very good because I'm trying different veggie burgers.
Right.
And the Bubba one is actually pretty good. But I'm trying this other one. I forget what it's called. And I burnt it yesterday.
Oh,
so
there.
I'm like super burnt it. Because apparently they don't cook at the same time as like the Bubba burgers, or Luke didn't properly preheat it or something. So I'm over here like with burnt ass burgers. I'm like trying to eat them.
Like, you do more harm to yourself eating them instead of just getting something else.
Yeah, so I ate like a fourth of them. More, like there was like 3 patties, and I ate like maybe almost one of them before just being like, okay, you know what? Like, I made an effort. I learned something. I'm gonna eat garbage, but just for today. No big deal. Could be worse. Today I had them again. I cooked them for like 1/3 the time. Maybe still a little tiny burnt, but definitely not like super crunchy. And as it turned out, I think it's just spicy. It has some spices in it, and that's not really my.
Usually would, yeah.
It's not usually my forte. So I think at least I have a winner. Like, I know I like the Bubba ones, so if worse comes to worse, I know there are veggie burgers that I like, but I want to keep trying other ones because Bubba doesn't really strike me as like the healthiest option.
Yeah.
Maybe they go in like, I mean, with a name like Bubba, doesn't it not sound healthy? It sounds like, yeah, burgers for men.
I wouldn't say so, but alright.
That's the vibe I always got. So,
Hello, Hammer, by the way.
yes, hello. Yeah, so I'm working on that. Already know that. I'm always so bad at like just starting these topics.
I mean,
Like
what are you gonna do first?
how do I jump into this? Well, I have a proposition,
Okay.
which I think we should go over first.
Right.
I want to make sure I'm in the right headspace. All right, so date. When does Splatoon 2 come out? Did you happen to know that?
That was like June 2017, I think.
All right, go back to June 2017. New Squid Game is out. New cooperative horde mode is out. We play cooperative horde mode. It's great. So we play it again and again and again and again. Literally every single time it came up, we played this, right?
Yeah.
So what happened was we obviously ran out of Salmon Run stuff to talk about when you're doing it like at least 3 times a week. So we start talking about, our lives and then game stuff and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Still doing it like, every 2 days. Then Nintendo Switch Online comes around and I'm like, I don't know if I want to support Nintendo in this endeavor. So then we
Killed the
stop.
Stone Dead, yeah.
Yeah. Buy Nintendo Switch Online anyway, but at this point we missed some. For like how long? Like like at least a year we've done like every single Salmon Run, so it's like, well, now the streak is kind of dead. What's the point?
Yeah.
So we were like, we could still do Salmon Run, but we obviously slowed down. We came back briefly, we stopped, and now we're back again, right?
Yeah.
And like for basically a majority of the time, we just talk without even thinking of the game.
Yeah.
Many times we highlight this very arcane fact and all that stuff. So I'm thinking, what if we just ditch Salmon and just talk?
Okay, sure. You want us like straight podcast instead of a game, or?
Basically, yeah. And it might be because, well, I mean, I've had this idea for a while, but maybe like the plan to put it into action is coming from me like just listening to more podcasts instead of music.
Right.
And it's just kind of nice to be driving and all, like, I'm making food now, so it's nice to have a podcast on for that. And I realized that's basically what we're doing, right? We're just kind of talking. It's just a podcast. I even called it a podcast like 2 streams ago.
Yes.
So, like, I think it'd be better if we just did audio only. We could still stream it, and like maybe even, I don't know how hard it is to put it up on like one of those podcast things, but maybe even do that. It seems kind of easy.
You would need to have a separate audio file, but yeah. Which
like,
basically we both just run Audacity, then one of us mixes it together.
Yeah. That would be easy enough. Maybe even editing.
That's pretty easy to do,
yeah. It's just every time a podcast talks about editing their stuff, I just go like, do you just listen to the whole thing and like take out every desk bump and all that stuff?
I mean, it depends on like how strict you want to be. When me, David, and Nathan were doing like recorded YouTube Let's Plays, I was the one who did the Audacity audio editing, and I didn't really care about a lot of noises like that. I mostly just made sure like to sync the tracks, make sure they all lined up properly.
Right.
Took out any egregious hell noises from like Nathan's laptop microphone deciding today's the day it's going to ascend.
It probably wouldn't be so bad, and like things like I'm gonna go get something, or I'm gonna look something up, things like that.
Yeah.
And they're probably like things that you can do to mark that stuff. It's probably not that bad.
You just take down timestamps in like your Audacity or OBS thing and mark them down as you go. It
So what do you think?
avoid me having fucking nightmares about the fact that for whatever goddamn reason Splatoon 2 is now destroying my encoding once again and making even the preview in OBS lag like shit. I don't know why. I don't know why this game just hates all encoding. I think my character card is just terrible and I need to replace it at some point.
It's an Elgato, right?
No, it's a tiny Avermedia, but I think I need a beefier one because this fucking thing is a nightmare. That or an on-board one or something.
Yeah. They're like kind of expensive.
Pause
Not
after
that
like this set of games so I can like fuck with this.
Because it's also, I mean, Splatoon or Salmon Run really doesn't add anything to it except for, like, I guess something to watch while you're listening. But you know, as it stands, it's like it's not really necessary. You know, kind of, especially for me, it kind of gums up my thought process as well because I don't really think about the game.
He's like repeatedly said like, oh, I can just do it off and not care.
Well, yeah, but sometimes I'm like in a tight spot and I'm trying to say something and then I go, you know.
Alright. So hello chats, by the way, hello Evan and all. I'll get to you in a second. I'm currently fucking on the fly trying to punch this thing into behaving itself.
I think it would be more convenient for people and stuff like that. And I mean, even if like no one listens anyway, it's like it's probably not that hard to do anyway. Like,
I mean, it's pretty
probably
easy.
wouldn't. Yeah.
So I did see Hammer, yes, you finished Infinite Adventures on Thursday. Don't worry, I am seeing the chats, I can see both and everything, I just I hate. Oh, that's really not good.
Whoa.
I hit cancel this comeback. Oh. But yes, I hit this goddamn Hydra in this game mode of all game modes. Why on earth? But yes, right, pause a sec while I fuck with this as I talk. Right, but yes, I'm fine with that. I have long supported the idea of these things not just being bound solely to Salmon Run. I've always like entertained the idea of it going to other games, anything really. Even just a podcast format, that's fine. Like, I've never minded. In some ways, I feel like it would kind of be more interesting to have jumped to a different game in the absence of Salmon Run instead of just killing the thing stone dead, but yeah, the powers that be, which is he, say no, so here we are.
I mean, really, at that point, it was going on because it was an everyday thing, and I took pride in that, you know. Like every Salmon Run session has coverage, and then, you know, when that stopped, I didn't really think about missing talking just about stuff, and that's why I came back.
Just the notion of coverage just makes me fucking shudder, because that's the word we use in work for making all the tests cover every line of code. Hammer hardly recommends Infinite Adventures. Alright, I think that might be fine. If it keeps going and like fucking up, just fuck it. It's just cursed the day. And it will be cursed until I get better equipment. Yeah, I'm open to that. I don't mind. Streaming and recording it, I'll even fucking like sync up the times if I have to, whatever.
Hey, bring back the Let's Play days when you had to record video and commentary separately.
Still want to do that thing. I hope, mainly with David, I would think, but it depends on his fucking cycle of just watching the Resident Evil 1 playthrough that I did up. What was that? Because it was like a main Jill playthrough and then a very easy knife-only run as Chris in the corner for boss fights and shit, and I was proud of like the bits of editing and the fact that I did like the entire fucking game, even its extra modes and shit for that. But then
did you put air horns in?
No. But then we ended up not doing the recording the whole thing because it all fell apart because David decided, well, he didn't decide, his parents decided we need a house extension so he could never do anything anymore, and then he decided to go buy his own house, and now he's getting a good computer.
Have his own house?
He does, yes.
Hell yeah.
Him and his girlfriend and their 3 small cat children.
See, I thought you were gonna say actual children. I was gonna say, whoa, girlfriend.
I mean, he works fast, but not that fast.
Like, I think he tweeted something earlier. I was like, putting streaming on hold until I get better stuff.
Yeah, he's ordered a new computer, like because he's been using a thing that's like, it was slightly worse than my previous one, the one before this, and that one is ancient by now. And he's still using his one from that time, and it's just falling the fuck apart, so he's just, you know, getting the new shit. Getting himself like fancy Ryzen 3000 beefed up like AMD Vega monster. You'll actually be able to record locally and shit instead of using Twitch exports. And maybe he'll even be able to do multiplayer shit and stuff again. Regularly. Who knows? But yes, I am down for just, you know, doing it as a flat podcast. I don't mind. Any which way, really.
Alright, well, as with every podcast, there's a subject we need to broach, and that is a name. So, obviously, I pounced this idea on you, unless you have thought about it before, which you apparently have.
Fuck Boys Weekly.
Okay, now, no? Not very bad, honestly, but,
That took me 3 seconds to come up with.
If we're gonna have a presence anywhere else other than Twitch, then, you probably shouldn't take that approach.
I want to be counterculture.
Like, the thing about podcast names is they really don't have to be anything. You know, they don't have to have meaning. Like, these 2 Sunshine speedrunners have a podcast that's, like, on Google Play. Thing. It's just called Video Games Are Hard. And that's the title. And their logo is just the words Video Games Are Hard on, like, a white, blue background, so...
Yeah, that's all it has to be, because it's just audio. You could like put your webcam in if you wanted and just be like miming actions the entire time.
Yeah, it's like I was thinking about, because like I'd want to stream it still, you know.
Yeah.
But
you can make that the YouTube edition or some shit. I don't know.
Maybe, but Carl and Kevin have a podcast as well that they do on Twitch, and Carl recently started using a webcam, and Kevin was never really one to shy away from it in the first place. So the last like 1 or 2 podcasts had just a bunch of visual gags because they had the webcam.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of against the idea of putting a webcam up just in case that unconsciously happens, you know?
I mean, that is bound to, because that's, you know, part of the idea, isn't it?
Yeah, like having a webcam. But then I have no idea what to put up as a stream thing, you know? See, Evan, the thing about the GameCube crew is that, I don't think that really defines us.
I don't know, that's why I feel like Fuckboy Weekly is the best title.
But what if it's not weekly?
Well, I mean, that's just part of the countercultural appeal.
Ah, yes, of course.
We don't live up to labels. Least of all those we appoint to ourselves.
Finds everyone. You know, in a technical sense, it does. Like, I've tried thinking of something, but, like, I can't even think of anything alluding to our Salmon Run past, you know?
I mean, there was my title for, like, the last stream, which was, like, Weekly Fish Murder Stream.
The fish murdering podcast.
Yeah.
I don't think that gives people the right idea. Like, they're gonna be fishermen, like, all right, I'm going out to catch my tuna, and
I feel like
while I'm
actual
sailing,
fishermen would be concerned if you named your fishing podcast Fish Murdering Weekly.
no, they'd be into it. So they're like, all right, I'm sailing. I'm gonna get some tuna, and while I'm, going to the place where the tuna gather, I'll listen to a podcast because it's kind of boring sailing out here. And then they turn on our podcast and go, what the hell is a wonderful 101?
The stream title is Tomorrow Hammer for reasons that will become clear later.
Didn't I just spoiled it, didn't I?
Shut up.
Yeah, that's something to stew about. And also, I have another question, which we could ask in the back end, but I might as well.
Just ask it here, just fuck it.
Yeah.
The court of public opinion destroying me.
Normally, podcasts have like I don't know, communal isn't the right word, but it's the only thing I think about, like where like a list of topics to cover, and for all of this, we have never done anything like that. Like, it's just always kind of been a surprise,
As
which in a way I kind of
glance over to my giant notepad. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a giant thing as well. Oh! No! Thank you for subscribing. Once again.
Damn.
Keeping the dream alive.
I got an emote out of your subscription. No.
Oh, is that a, is that the Valentine's Day thing?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Thanks, and how are you doing? We're talking about pivoting off of Salmon Run to an audio-only podcast.
If you hadn't said that, I was going to say we're talking about killing Salmon Run again. Just the.
but this time with good reason, you know. That gives a bad idea.
That's the point.
Wrong idea. So the question is, would you rather have like a whole thing that we just put ideas into together, or would you rather it be separate and kind of like a surprise?
I mean, I feel like if you want to make it a more structured thing instead of just off the cuff as we're playing a video game, you kind of need like the joint communal one. That usually works better, I find.
Yeah, I mean, then we kind of... The thing is, like, I've been stressing about scheduling this weekend in particular because I've just had a bunch of jobs. And I've been like, I want us to have at least 3 hours because I don't know how long this is going to go on for. And we talked for 3 hours, like the last 2 streams or something.
Yeah.
So, in a way, it would also kind of help with, like, okay, we know how long it'll probably be.
Goddamn weapon and everything involved with it.
We know how to structure the podcast as well. Like, I don't want it to be super official. Like, we aren't gonna be crazy, but I mean, I might get a little crazy. I might do some mic positioning stuff, but
you will.
That's not that crazy.
With day one of the podcast, you're gonna have like a full, like, soundproofed audio booth set up in your room.
I'm getting there, man.
You're gonna have like a fucking like audio mixer and shit with like fucking like 40 knobs for like adjusting the various pitches and yaws of your various vocal noises. I joke, but I feel like eventually like, you're walking that path of ever better equipment, and I've seen this road go for YouTubers and shit I do watch.
I don't think I can put up a boom mic though. Like, all 3 mounts take up so much space. I would need an arm that reaches all the way up and around the monitors in a way that doesn't get in the way of the monitors, and it's just a logistics nightmare. But I'm thinking about it.
I'm just sitting here with this the fucking same Yeti microphone from fucking how many years ago now?
Yeah, Gavin's sitting on his bed with his TV just facing him. And he probably sounds just as good, maybe.
I mean, to me at least, over my own headphones.
Yeah, apparently the rule of thumb is like 6 to 12 inches from your mouth. Not too close because then it'd be too loud, but not too far because echoing. And that's probably a big problem with my now wide open room and 3 monitors enclosing the sound waves around the microphone.
Probably.
And like my big concern was
I sound good. Yeah.
Like the mic would be in my face, and I'd look like those people. You know those people who make those like YouTube tutorials, and the mic is like they just have a giant mic in their face, and you're like, oh my
I
god.
thought you would say those YouTube videos and was about to go and make the joke like Captain Marvel's actress hates white man or whatever.
I mean, but aren't they're like the same kind of
They're
people,
the same
right?
thing, basically. Yeah.
It's like the mic is right there, and it's like covering their mouth, and they look all professional, but it actually looks kind of stupid. You know, that's not
Yeah.
the kind of thing I want to go for. But I think I can make it work. I mean, I've got without buying anything because I'm kind of in a tight financial situation right now. But
Really, this is just a get-rich-quick scheme, so you can make a merchandisable podcast without Nintendo content.
yes, of course.
Exactly.
I don't think we're merchandisable at all.
I mean, you might be. You have like actual Twitch friends and shit with like group memes and shit. My streams are like me, Hammer, and Manly sitting around the TV farting and talking about old video games. I love
It's
these.
like its own podcast, you know. No way. Ah,
I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly.
yeah. I think that next week there are gonna be some changes. I'm not sure we aren't sure exactly what the changes are going to
It
be.
says
But,
we have like formally talked about this instead of me just going, yeah, fuck right now.
we have talked about it for the last 20 minutes or something.
10.
Yes, it's over there now. So we'll talk. That's what we're gonna do. I'm probably gonna commandeer most of it, and then be like, Gavin, this is okay. And Gavin's gonna go, yeah.
Basically.
All right, good. That's good. Out of the way. I was gonna like make a Twitter poll saying like, should we do this? It's like, stop with the Twitter polls. Stop. Just make your own choices.
My man was about to make a Twitter poll before actually asking me directly.
Gavin's gonna be like, what is he talking about? I guess I could make a poll about it. Like people said that they'd rather have a webcam over a game, but I thought about it, and I really don't think I'm responsible enough to stay on top of that. So I might just have something. And also, like, do you ever watch things like that? Like, do you ever just kind of not even realize the background's there? You're just focused on the game anyway.
Basically, yeah. There's a pair of Australian YouTubers I watch, and they do put their camera on sometimes. Usually for like their stream VODs and shit, and it's like you don't even notice at their point. It's just tucked in the corner.
Yeah, like Carlos had the same Hat in Time background since Hat in Time, and like I only barely noticed. Yeah, Nova's against it. Yeah, poll about asking the question.
Glad that.
I think the only person who would be against this is Gloop, because I'm making him Splatoon money.
Does he even play the game enough for it to matter?
Yes, now he does now, yeah. Which is funny. He just kind of got back into it out of
Well, then
nowhere.
he better start his own fucking Salmon Run weekly stream, then, shouldn't he?
Probably gonna be okay. Want to play Salmon Run with me? All right. Good, good, good. Do you want to just switch on, switch topics?
Yeah, go.
Well, I did mine. Oh, wait. I meant switch off topics. Across each other.
Oh, okay.
It's only fair. Apparently you have a whole lot of stuff, and I have a whole lot of stuff, so it'd kind of suck if, like, we did all my stuff and then had no more time left.
As usually happens.
You just want to do the wonderful 101 thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, so... Word went, like, yesterday, that Platinum are, like, planning to set up, and this is all just rumor and speculation at this point, that they're planning to set up a Kickstarter to gauge the potential audience for a current like platform port of the Wonderful 101, like Switch and PS4, and then maybe Xbox One, because no Japanese developer wants to touch Xbox One. I don't think any developer in general wants to, really. But it's been backed up by like two things. There was a recent like Platinum Games post where like it's Kamiya at his desk, someone was photobombing him, and then on his monitor, despite not being the right time or date, his time and date on the monitor was set to like the 10th of January. So like 10:01, and the time was like 1 p.m., like 1 minute past 1 p.m.
1:01 p.m.
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't even notice the date thing. That makes it infinitely more obvious. Like,
yeah,
what is he doing?
And there's shortly after that people find that fresher than nowhere there is an Platinum Games Kickstarter profile, which didn't exist before.
Yeah, it like was just made like 2 days ago once these rumors started going out.
So I kind of want to say that it seems pretty likely, but then you get oh yeah, that's also a point. Howard points out there was a switch in the corner of Kamiya's photo as well, which is the ultimate cheek. Just rubbing that in there.
See, but Gavin, you're forgetting the most damning piece of evidence here, or not damning, the most confirming piece of evidence.
Yeah.
William Robertson said.
I was about to bring this up. The fact that he said anything at all makes you go like, you know what? It's probably all bullshit. Man who is routinely and openly and regularly wrong says this is true. Probably bullshit then, isn't it? Anyone from that circle says it, yeah, you know what? Probably horseshit. Especially since he tried to make the insinuation, like, oh, Nintendo certainly doesn't want it because it sold so terribly, and it's kind of like, that doesn't actually make any functional sense considering Astral Chain sold several million for Nintendo just months ago? And also they picked up to pretty terribly, like, globally I think it was only like in the tens of thousands at best. Still better than Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which now has a Switch port backed by Nintendo. So that tells me either like there's something else going on, and we're having this like a funny confluence where the Kickstarter is actually going to be for something else, or like Nintendo either doesn't want or Platinum doesn't want Nintendo to have it, which is also actually quite likely because Platinum have for quite a while now, like well over a year now, been on this really hard kick about wanting to self-publish their own stuff. They make their own IPs, own it, sell it, like, not what the fuck about with. Oh yeah, Tokyo Mirage Sessions Switch is apparently selling even worse than the Wii U version. So, there you go. It failed to chart at all well, even in Japan. In part because the Japanese fanbase was in quite an uproar about the content being the censored American and European version, instead of their own version.
I think that's why most people kind of stayed away from it.
Yep.
As well.
That's why I stayed away from it. I don't doubt it's a pretty good game. I just can't fucking stand that. I would not be able to play the game without just fucking eating at me, knowing that some busybody fuck somewhere was saying, well, it's not Christian enough for Western audiences. And it's like, I would not play Mortal Kombat on Super Nintendo because it's go to shit. I don't want to deal with that. I want my blood. It doesn't matter even if it functionally has nothing. If it's there and you explicitly take it away for moral reasons, I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna take the version that's like filthy and degenerate.
It has vagina bones.
It's not even my issue. My issue is more to a plotline that Persona 4 also did and did just fine, and no one's fussed about it because it had a good message. Well, Tokyo Mirage Sessions does the same thing. Oh well, that's not Christian. That's illegal. Fucking Nintendo. Well, Nintendo of America.
Look, this isn't about Tokyo Mirage Sessions. This is about a game that you hold near and dear.
Yes.
It seems like everyone holds near and dear, despite it selling 4 weeks.
It's kind of like an Okami Earthbound thing, where more people say they love it than have actually played it.
Yeah,
and every single person like that is human filth. I just want to point that out. But
I don't think that's fair.
How dare you pretend to be there in its corner when you were not the first time? That's just my stance on that. But
I think it's fair to like have watched something and then be like, you know, I like this game.
Less on that view when it comes to stuff like this. But whatever. Anyway, this Kickstarter, like, here's the thing. If it's real, and we'll find out tomorrow, because that's the rumored time that it's going to go up. If it's real, I'm going to be there day one. I'm putting my thing in instantly for, like, a, you know, a nice, fancy copy of the game.
How much money are you willing to spend?
Well, it depends what they're
Clearly,
offering.
Like, clearly you thought about this. How much, like, let's just say you want to pay for the highest tier you can.
I don't have 10 grand to spend.
You want having a wonderful one put in the game?
I mean, if I had the money, I would love to do that, but tiers like that are usually like a grand or higher. I just functionally don't have that money.
Yeah, so what would the highest tier you would be willing to spend on be? If you wanted to, like, every tier, but, like, you know, only had so much money.
Probably 100, 150.
Okay. Because, like, I was trying to think about that.
Bloodstained was, I think, maybe 200, but I don't have 200 I could easily dump right now because of work not getting me my expenses back yet. I guess I could wait until that happens, because the Kickstarter will probably run for like 40 days, but...
Yeah, I think a month is the usual.
Actually, if it runs for 30 days from now, I would actually run over my next payslip, so I could actually go as high as like 200 comfortably.
Well, that's the beautiful thing. You could put down money now, right?
Yeah, and then just up it later, yeah.
Yeah, up it later. So, there's that. I have, like, no money. I know nothing about this game, but, and I bought it on the Wii U.
I mean, that was, in a sense, that was kind of an investment, because apparently it's like gold dust now.
That was like $20 for me, so...
Oh, lucky you. Because apparently it's like now rare and somewhat expensive, at least over here anyway.
I wonder if the Switch port's gonna change that.
Probably.
I mean, I'm curious, how, let's say it was, I mean, port to Switch, obviously. Do you think it'd be as good as the Wii U one? Or do you think it'd be gimped because it's
No, it would plainly be more or less the same game, but probably actually slightly better, because it would have none of the Wii U motion gimmicks. By Wii U motion gimmicks, I mean,
you like motion gimmicks.
Then you're a sad mutant, and you should fuck off.
I guess the question is, what are the motion gimmicks?
There's a few times where it would cut to the Wii U screen, and you do, like, you go inside a building on the main screen, or like inside something on the main screen, and you control or do shit from inside of a building or something on the Wii U screen. Which...
Oh, okay. That doesn't sound very... That sounds like a Star Fox Zero kind of situation.
It was far better than that, because it actually mostly worked, but, you know, stuff like, moving the Wii U gamepad would sometimes, like, fuck with the camera, because it's using motion control camera or whatever.
Like, I guess what I'm asking is it like...
Moreover,
no more heroes?
I just wanted to interject. Moreover, it did have a function where you could just, like, hit, like, minus or something, and then cause the stuff on the Wii U screen...
Right.
To go onto the main screen in a little picture-in-picture thing. Which was actually, like, really nice.
I guess what I'm asking is it like No More Heroes kind of motion controls where that's like, there are parts of the game where that is the point, you know, like, I honestly, like, according to Whoops,
it was more the screen game, like going into like the smaller screen to do stuff was the point, rather than any motion control. The motion control bit was just a tacked on part.
Okay,
like
so
camera control or whatever.
That sounds like the Switch one will just be better then.
Yeah, it will be. Anything they could do on it could just be fully recreated on any other platform as is anyway.
It's not like motion controls are mapped to buttons or the stick or anything.
Yeah, no, like motion controls are like, when I say motion controls, I really do just mean like camera control, really, more than anything. On those sections, because like, you didn't... Basically every other one would just use like just standard controls for like literally everything else.
It's not like you're aiming a gun with the motion controls or anything big
no,
like that.
It's just controlling your own camera while you're moving around the tiny screen.
Okay, so
there might have been an option to even turn it off, but I don't remember.
So I'm pretty sure I'll invest in enough to get the game at base, the physical game at base, because this sounds like I'm gonna want to play it over the Wii U version. Like, I can wait. I've waited years, you know.
Yeah.
This is a game that Gavin wants me to play, and there are games that Gavin wants me to play even more first, presumably anyway. So I can wait.
This is a game I just want people in general to play, because, like, when I go on my bullshit and start talking about, like, you know, the great parts of, like, technical action games, Wonderful 101 is, like, one of the genre peaks, in my opinion. Which is kind of nuts considering how unconventional it actually is. But yeah, like, the thing is, though, there are some, like, catches to this, because, like, I will be there day one to slap money down for it, because fucking get that thing off the Wii U, like, free it, please, Jesus. But there are, like, some catches, some caveats to this. So, like, for instance, like, how long ago was it? 2 weeks ago now, I want to say, maybe a bit earlier, there was news that Platinum got, like, some undisclosed sum of, like, capital venture, or, like, venture capital from Tencent to, like, develop and publish their own game. So that was, you know, that was presumably a hefty chunk of money from a giant, you know, Tencent are fucking giant. They own, like, almost literally half of, like, the Western AAAs here. Like, they have stock in, like, they own half of Epic. They have stock in Activision, Ubisoft, EA, all of them. Like, Tencent...
Are they a bad company?
Yes.
Or am I mistaking them with someone else? Like,
No,
you know,
Tencent
bad,
Tencent are kind of evil, yes. They're like a mega corporation that, if you'll notice, every single company they've taken over has gone very hard down the microtransactions and, you know, digital network game crap pretty easily. They also own, like, Riot. They own, like, Dota and other shit.
I was gonna say, where have I heard that name before?
Tencent own a lot. They are massive, and, you know, suitably massive. They are often, like, the secret asshole behind all the other assholes. The fucking stream is still just dying when coding. I don't know what the hell this thing's problem is.
Your just dying as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's not good. Hang on, I'm gonna kill OBS after this and try this again. 1 sec as I put everything down and kill OBS. Be right back.